Good morning. So here's Chelsea with a pouch full of pumpkins. We've been harvesting our pumpkins today, and a lot of them are going to be marketable and a lot of them are not. So this is one of those live and learn events that we've had lots of this year. So next year we're going to be making like A-frame trellises up in our upper garden, our vegetable garden. That's where we'll be growing the pumpkins, and we'll actually be letting them just hang to the inside. We're hoping that that will take care of, worm issues, and certainly it will take care of any kind of rotting that might happen. None of these are rotting from sitting on the ground, but the worms have not been kind to them. We still have a lot of watermelons growing up here. We grew these little teeny tiny watermelons, and most of them are ready. Some of them, their vines are still green and their little curly cues are not completely dried up. So we will let them finish drying out before we pick them. Look at these itty bitty little Scotch bonnets. Look, they're so cute. They are so cute. And they're supposed to be incredibly hot, but I'm not going to be eating them. Chelsea and her friend Aurora will be eating them. So we had rain last night, finally. And you can see we had wind also, and some of our little plants are leaning over, but they're okay. We have lots of jalapenos, which are little jalapenos that are no heat. These are getting big enough that we will actually be cutting these to take to market this week. We did not go to market yesterday for a number of reasons, but partly because we were expecting, some kind of hurricane force winds and rain last night. That didn't sound conducive to keeping a tent in place. Look at these beautiful banana peppers. We have one that's bad. Let's get him off. But look at them. They're gorgeous, and there's so many of them. Yay! Hugh and I like the sweet and sour. I like the banana, or what is it? What is it, Chelsea? The sweet pickles, bread and butter. Chelsea, Hugh and I like the bread and butter banana peppers, and I may pick some of those and do that. But I want to take you up here and show you this little straw flowers that are beginning to bloom. And I don't think we're going to put the straw flowers in our bouquet, in any of our bouquets. I think we're going to use them on some of our... Ouch! I stepped on a thistle. And I have shoes on, but they're soft-sided shoes. But you can see where they're beginning to bloom. And look at these guys. These are feathers, and they're just beginning to get their little feather on them, but they have the most gorgeous foliage. I mean, that's going to be amazing in a bouquet. There's another little straw flower. And I saw another one somewhere. Oh, down here he is. But yeah, I'm glad those are finally blooming, because we will cut those and dry them and use them in some kind of a centerpiece type thing that we're planning on doing some of this fall and winter. But you can see our bell peppers are coming along really, really nicely too. They're too full, actually. This one is so full that it looks like it's even growing into the bottom one. There's bunches of them, and I need to cut some, put in the freezer. That's just about all I know to do with bell peppers, is to freeze. If we do have a dehydrator. I would love at some point in life to have a freeze dry machine. Those guys are really expensive, but they're supposed to give you the best flavor and longevity for your vegetables. And then all of these expired sunflowers. they're just done. They said, I've had enough. This whole end of the garden has probably about 4 weeks left. Some of the rows that are still producing well. And then Hugh will be plowing this all the way down and respacing these. I'm breathy today, guys. Respacing these hills, because you can see some of them are not wide enough for us to mow between. We just didn't plan real well, but we want all of the rows to be as wide as these rows are up here. And then we'll leave our little grass trails, and that part will never be plowed again. It will only ever be mowed. And our little zinnia bed, this is the last little zinnia bed, but it's actually blooming. They're a little short, but you can see they're beginning to give us some blooms. Lots and lots and lots of blooms. So we'll have some little guys out of here within the next probably week and a half or so. Yay. And then this is the very last bed of marigolds. And you can see that other bed of marigolds down there. They're gorgeous. We've been using those with some deep purple zinnias and some deep purple gumfrina. And oh my goodness, y'all, it will just absolutely knock your eyes out. So pretty. So very pretty. And then these, of course, are the same as those that I showed you down there, the feathers that will, I'm hoping they have a chance to make it before cold weather. Here's some more of our little pale purple feathers. I love them. And then another, some more, a different type of celosia. Those are celosia also. Those are celosia also. Those purple ones are dark, like maroon ones. So all of these are celosia. And then down here, this is our last little bed of basil. And they're looking kind of wind burnt, sunburnt, some kind of a burn. We'll see. I hope that they grow tall enough to give us some use before this bouquet season is over. And then this little bed of gumfrina over there, we want to finish using it up. This little bed of celosia right here, just pretty much done. We've harvested tons and tons and tons out of there. So we want to get those out. And then this is possibly the last of the sunflowers. I cut a bunch of them yesterday, and you can see there's a whole lot ready. We try to get them at this stage and take them inside. If we get them here, if we get them at this just opening stage, or even there or there, then we don't have to worry about any kind of bug damage. But I'll have to come out in a little while. I've got some deliveries to make. Chelsea and I made our bouquets this morning, and she has to work tonight, so she needs to go home and get in the bed, and I need to go make deliveries. And then this evening I'll come back and cut all these guys and take them downstairs in the basement, and they will finish opening up slowly over the weekend. And then Monday we make bouquets again for Tuesday deliveries. And then this little bed of sunflowers may make it or not. We will see. We will see. I don't know. You know, this bed came on really quickly. Once they started, they just burst open quickly. So these right here may do the same thing, but I suspect they'll be short like these guys. These guys are, what, maybe 24 inches. The tallest one's maybe about 30 inches. but they're little short dudes. They don't make a really big splash in a bouquet, but they're cute. Look at those dudes. I mean, who couldn't love a little face like that? This little bee does. Look at it. That's a funny looking little bee too. Hey dude, what you doing? Say. But, and then just a tiny little patch of basil. We did find out that our basil, this basil, I told you this before, but this basil and the last basil in the very back of that other row that I showed you, they were planted on the same day. This basil has been out in the full sun. That basil back there, way back right there, it gets some afternoon shade. So we have discovered that basil likes a little afternoon shade. We're going to make certain that it gets that. And then this bed of gomphrena, my goodness. It's the most beautiful little round button of a flower, but they're tough to pick. Come on. It's not gonna, there it went. It finally came into focus. They're tough to pick, but they make a beautiful little accent to your flower, to your bouquets. And they're really easy to grow, y'all. So if you have a spot in your garden that needs a little bit of ball-shaped color, these guys are perfect. And you can get them in red and orange. And I had thought at one point that we had some orange that was going to be growing for fall of the year. They're dryable, and they're supposed to dry really nicely upside down. Hang them upside down, and they're supposed to retain their color. That's what we've heard, but we haven't given it a really good try yet. So as the season comes to a close, whatever's left in these fields, we're going to cut them and we're going to hang them upside down and see what we can come up with. I don't know what we'll do with them, but we'll have them. We will have them for whatever. And then, of course, this row of zinnias is right now finished. I picked it really, really heavy yesterday. And all of those little pops of color that you see all the way down there, they're still not completely ready to pick. Let me show you. When you take a zinnia and you kind of shake it like that, that one's almost ready. See how wiggly it is? That one's not ready. See how wiggly? If they're wiggly like that, they're not ready. They need to be really firm. Let me see if I can find you one that's firm enough to show you. So when you're picking out of your own home garden, know that if you don't give them, and sometimes they look like they should be ready, they're totally opened up, but they're still wiggly. I don't know, I may have picked all of them that were usable yesterday. I would have thought I'd have some ready this afternoon. Let me see you, baby. Nope, see, it's wiggly. Oh well. I guess I don't have any that have a firm little head on them. But just keep that in mind when you're checking your zinnias for picking to take into your home. That one even is, look how beautiful it is. But it's still, I would almost cut that one, but I'd rather not. Now, that one, you can see it's pretty stiff when I flip it back and forth. That one's ready. But out of all this color, it's just about the only one that is. And then on this side, you know, the last of the azuratum, and it's the same with azuratum. If you shake them like that and they're floppy, don't cut them, because they'll end up just kind of hanging over. You have and the stem size can be deceptive. See how skinny this stem is? But see how stiff it is? It doesn't flop. So that one's actually ready. But so you can't really tell by the stem size itself. That one's still just a little bit floppy. But, oh well. And then the basil on this side is getting close to being done. I watered it good this week, and then it rained on it a little bit yesterday evening. We didn't get nearly as much rain as we were hoping to have. The rain just went east of Asheville, and we're west of Asheville, so we got a little bit, not much. See how tiny these guys are? And there's very, 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 very few of them left. These are the queenies. And then there's one Benry's in here, and he's almost ready to pick. I don't know how he got mixed in. But these guys probably don't have but maybe a week left in them. There's still lots of teeny tiny little blooms. But the weather's going to have to really, really cooperate in order for them. And they're so tiny that you have to use 10 or 12 or more in a bouquet with all your other fillers and sunflowers and whatnot. So, but they're really cute in the little jars. Chelsea loves making the little jars, and they sell well. So we do the little jars with some basil and some small flowers and some gramprina and some feathers and then as many zinnias as they need. But yay. All right, y'all. This was going to be a shorter one, but I ended up chatting way for a long time. And Chelsea's down there carrying in the pumpkins. Bless her heart. I should have been down there helping her. Here I go. Look at the goldenrod. I've been cutting it out of my mountain mint. I have 2 nice stands of mountain mint now. And you can see where the mountain mint comes up out of the ground. So they have a root system that comes up in different spots, and that's wonderful because I'm going to take the mountain mint and transplant it in different spots down this row, and that will be good. It's a beautiful, beautiful plant. It can be used actually as a cut flower, but it also draws in all kinds of ornamental or beneficials, excuse me, and it also repels deer. So that's a good thing. Look at all that sneeze-making stuff. Yeah, and the trees are beginning to change. Partly because it's, the 13th of September. And partly because it's been so very, very dry. So we'll have an early fall this year. I hope it will be pretty color. The weather, plays a big part. If it's too dry, sometimes it's the color's just kind of brown. So we shall see. We shall see. All right, y'all. I hope your weekend is wonderful. Ours will be. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.